Keeping score is about music. It's what happens when an orchestra, a music director, and an organization share the passion for making great music and sharing that with the widest possible audience.
Keeping score is the opportunity for MTT and the orchestra to bring the power and emotion of classical music to millions of people, many of whom may not have ever had a chance to hear it in a symphony hall, and to do this through public television, public radio, in our public schools, and on the web.
If you are alive, you know everything you need to know in order to appreciate this music, because it is the reflection of someone's life in very vivid detail.
For Ives, songs were memories, and memories were the keys that unlocked his art and shaped his whole life. We're here in the small, narrow room, his study in Reading, Connecticut. And from this small room with its tiny piano, he unleashed the furious forces that are still challenging our ideas of what music can be, even today.
Keeping score, I think, seems real to people. I'm trying to find a way of speaking to the camera which is very conversational.
Overnight, Shostakovich became a man living in fear. He thought about the terrible, unknown fate of so many artists, colleagues, and friends, and realized he was close to joining them.
The black van would come in the middle of the night and people get arrested. And people were dealing with it. It was part of their everyday life.
There very often really isn't a script. It's kind of talking points. Yes, if you were seated right beside me and say, oh, well, let me point this out to you in the score, and oh, by the way, let's go to Paris. Bang, we're there.
This is the hall where Symphonie fantastique was premiered. Berlioz knew its acoustic perfectly, and he closely considered the numbers and positions of each and every instrument on the stage.
I love being taken back to the homes where these composers have lived and created their music. I love learning from MTT as a teacher. I love the drama, the excitement, and I love the music.
One of the main objectives of Keeping Score has been to try to bring people closer to the music. And one very powerful way of doing that is with frontiers in video production. The pans, the wipes, the flyovers, you know, all these things that you're accustomed to seeing in real filmmaking, but now applied to the kind of level of musical discourse and communication of the piece.
Music is about a feeling that you can't necessarily express in words. And a camera movement gives you this feeling that you're inside of the music. And it's a unique view. It's the musician's actually point of view of the conductor. Taking equipment that's never been here before with the remote-controlled dolly and the remote-controlled cranes, and we have a special camera that nobody's ever done, which is going right through the center of the woodwinds all the way up to the conductor. And that is why this is so special. We're doing it in a new way that nobody's ever seen.
As a musician in the orchestra, music-making process is a very powerful and intimate moment for me. There's a lot of subtle things happening between musicians and the conductor. The little gestures and eye contacts are sometimes not visible thing for the audience. So it's amazing for me to see how these cameras are trying to convey and capture all these little subtle moments.
Probably the largest number of people who initially see keeping score see it on television. And that's fantastic as far as people having access to it. But we always have more material and more interesting sidebars and breakouts that we would like to introduce. When you go to the website, it's engaging, it's kind of mysterious, and there are different corners to explore. You can kind of come back to it.
In a keeping score classroom, you can see the connections that music is making for students. Music is coming alive for them.
Looking at Copland as a composer and taking Appalachian Spring, the ballet he wrote, I took one song out of that, the Shaker Hymn, "'Tis a Gift to be Simple." And from that song, I was able to create a writing lesson as the children wrote about a simple gift they would create for someone. I took a social studies unit and incorporated life then and now as the ballet displayed a young couple getting married in the early settler days of America. We were able to do math as we talked about even and odd numbers when we tapped and clapped to the beat of the music that Copland had written. So with one piece of music, one short little song, I was able to integrate 3 different core curriculum lessons.
Music connects us. Music inspires us. And sharing this great music with others, that's what keeping score is all about.
MTT, the members of the orchestra, the entire team of the symphony. I don't know that there's another organization in this country that could have created something like keeping score.